Hello everyone. Today we will continue our lesson on fractions. We will be looking at unit and equivalent fractions. Before we start our lesson, let us recap what we have learned yesterday. Let us divide this chocolate equally between 6 people. You will be dividing the chocolate into 6 equal pieces. Each person will get 1 by 6 piece. So how does 1 by 6 piece look on this chocolate? This is how we divide the chocolate into 6 equal pieces, and each person will get 4 squares. Now let us try to divide this chocolate equally between 24 people. We will be dividing the chocolate into 24 equal pieces, means each person will get 1 by 24 chocolate. So how does 1 by 24 chocolate looks like? This is how 1 by 24 chocolate looks like. It is equal to 1 square on the chocolate bar. So which number is bigger? Is 1 by 6 bigger or 1 by 24? 1 by 6 means we are dividing 1 between 6 people. So everyone gets a bigger piece of chocolate. But 1 by 24 means we are dividing 1 between 24 people. So everyone is getting a smaller piece of the chocolate. So pieces in 1 by 24 is smaller than in 1 by 6, which means 1 by 24 is less than 1 by 6. We divided 1 chocolate bar between 6 people. Now, can you divide 4 chocolate bars between 24 people? Who will get more chocolate? Will the people in the 6 group get more chocolate or people in the 24 group? Remember, 1 chocolate between 6 people or 4 chocolate between 24 people. Who will get more? How can we divide 4 chocolate bars between 24 people? How many squares will each person get? They are going to get 4 divided by 24 pieces. How can we divide that equally? This is how we divide. When we were dividing 1 chocolate between 6 people, do you remember how many squares each person was getting? That's right, they were getting 4 squares each. We see that when we are dividing 4 chocolates between 24 people, then also each person is getting 4 squares each. So when different fractions become the same. When we divide 1 chocolate between 6 people, each person gets 1 by 6 chocolate. When we divide 4 chocolate between 24 people, each person gets 4 by 24 chocolate. So 1 by 4 is the same as 4 by 24 because it is 4 squares each, as we saw in the picture. How is this happening? This brings us to our lesson today. Our objective today is we will be able to understand the properties of unit fractions and equivalent fractions and identify them as well. Why are we learning this? This will help us to work with fractions better. Before we start our lesson, let us quickly recap the different parts of a fraction. This is how a fraction looks like. The number on the top of a fraction is called a numerator. The number on the bottom of a fraction is called a denominator. So for example, 1 by 24, 1 is the numerator, 24 is the denominator. What are unit fractions? A fraction with numerator equals 1 is called a unit fraction. For example, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 8, 1 by 100, etc. You can see the numerator is always 1 in these fractions. So what are the properties of a unit fraction? If the denominator of a unit fraction is bigger than the denominator of another unit fraction, then the first fraction is smaller than the second fraction. So, in case of unit fractions, a bigger denominator means it is a smaller fraction. If we look at the number 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 8 and 1 by 100, 100 is the biggest denominator and 4 is the smallest denominator, which means 1 by 4 is the biggest fraction and 1 by 100 is the smallest fraction. This is how unit fraction looks like. Next we will look at equivalent fraction. When we were doing our practice, we found that 1 by 6 is the same as 4 by 24. When we were dividing the chocolate, 1 by 6 gave us 4 squares of the chocolate and 4 by 24 gave us 4 squares of chocolate as well. So how is 1 by 6 becoming same as 4 by 24? So we divide both the numerator and denominator by 4. So 4 by 24 becomes 1 by 6. 1 by 6 and 4 by 24 are called equivalent fractions. The word equivalent means same value. How do we identify equivalent fractions? These are the steps we will follow. First, look at the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. Can you divide both the numerator and denominator with the same number? Use the divisibility rules you have learned. You will keep dividing until you cannot divide them anymore by the same number. All fractions which give the same answer are called equivalent fractions. Let us look at this example. Can you find the equivalent fractions from the list? The numbers we have got are 3 by 8, 16 by 46, 36 by 96, 21 by 56 and 25 by 75. We will follow the steps we just saw. First step. Can you divide both numerator and denominator with the same number? We will use the divisibility rules you have learned. 3 by 8. We cannot divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. We can divide 8 into smaller numbers like 2, 4 and 8. But 3 we cannot divide by 2, 4 and 8. So we cannot make 3 by 8 any smaller. 16 by 46. Both of them are divisible by 2. 36 by 96. Both the numerator and the denominator are divisible by 2 and 3. So 36 is divisible by 6, 96 is divisible by 6. 21 by 56. Both is divisible by 7. 25 by 75. The last digit is 5. So both numbers are divisible by 5. So we will now do the division. 3 by 8 we cannot divide anymore, so it remains the same. 16 by 46 we divide both numerator and denominator by 2. It becomes 8 by 23. 36 by 96 we divide both numerator and denominator by 6. It becomes 6 by 16. 21 by 56 we divide both by 7. It becomes 3 by 8. 25 by 75 we divide both by 5. It becomes 5 by 15. So now we will keep on dividing until we cannot divide both numbers anymore by the same number. 3 by 8 we cannot divide. 16 by 46 has become 8 by 23. We cannot divide 8 and 23 anymore by the same number. 36 by 96 became 6 and 16. We can divide both 6 and 16 by 2. So it becomes 3 by 8. 21 by 56 is 3 by 8. We cannot divide it anymore. 25 by 75 becomes 5 by 15. We can divide it again by 5 and it becomes 1 by 3. Now finally, we have reached the point where all fractions we cannot divide anymore. What is the last step? All fractions which give the same answer are equivalent fractions. So 3 by 8 we cannot divide anymore. 16 by 46 became 8 by 23. 18 by 48 became 3 by 8. 21 by 56 became 3 by 8. 25 by 75 became 1 by 3. So 3 by 8. 18 by 48 is also 3 by 8. 21 by 56 is also 3 by 8. So 3 by 8, 18 by 48 and 21 by 56 are called equivalent fractions.